Okay, so I thought I'd make a quick guide on how to use this tool, and I'll keep it as short as I can. So let's jump straight into it. Health max, this is the maximum roll you can get on a health curio, so 21%, 17% for toughness. Damage per tick, that's just how much damage you're going to take at each interval during, these calculations. Now you can edit these. The only value I would edit is this one. There's no reason to change these values up here. If you wanted to have a view of, what a specific health amount and toughness amount would look like, don't edit these, just directly change these values instead. Um, and that, will do it for you. This here doesn't do anything. It's just helpful to see, how much health does a psyker have, how much toughness does a psyker have. It means when I'm changing these values, I don't need to try to remember. There's always that little bit of doubt that I might have. It just gets rid of that issue. You can just copy them. Um, but changing these doesn't do anything. The panel you interact with most is this one. So health is the actual health we're going to be, calculating everything for. So this feeds directly into, this panel here, which in turn feeds into all of these numbers. Toughness, same thing. It feeds into stuff the same way. These are pretty obvious, right? This is your default character health with no, items, no feats, no nothing. Same for toughness. Modifier HP. This is how much of the damage you would receive. So 1 means all of it, 0.9 means 90% of it, and so on, right? It's done as a multiplication. So it's the damage value times this value. So if you set that to 1, it's just going to return that value, right? It's not going to affect it in any way. But if you put 0.9, it's going to keep 90% of the value. And, toughness is the same thing. This is just your toughness damage modifier. So as an Ogren, you've got an inherent 20% damage mitigation to both of these. You would put 0.8 because 20% reduction means you're taking 80% of the damage, and 0.8 is 80%. Now this is where things probably get more confusing. So regen percent is how much of your total toughness do you want to be regenerating? So what percentage of your total toughness do you want to be regenerating when toughness regenerates? And then the delay is defining when does your toughness regenerate. So here I've set it to 2, which means I'm going to take 2 hits, and then whatever I've configured my regen to be will trigger. And so every 2 hits is going to trigger. But you could put 1, so if you're someone who gets hit very rarely, you're going to always have 1 here. And then you're going to say, okay, I get hit once every like 10 seconds as a zealot, right? These numbers here aren't quite zealot numbers. That is now zealot numbers. So I get hit once every 10 seconds. So that would be 0.5 that you would be able to regenerate, because you're going to get 5 toughness per second for 10 seconds. And that's without even counting coherency, right? So with this, these are your stats. If you were taking 100 damage per hit and you regenerated 50% of your toughness over the course of 10 seconds, because you don't have coherency, maybe you're doing true solo or something, I don't know. So that's what it looks like. And then here you can see the graph, obviously. And the brown bar, for you it won't be brown. For me it is, because I've got a plugin to make it all dark, so it doesn't blind me. But for me, brown is toughness, pink there is health, and blue is nothing. And so you can tweak, you can mess around with these numbers. Just don't touch any of the stuff that I said not to touch. Only touch the stuff I said that you should touch. and it's all going to be okay. Something else you can do is if you go here, you click customize, horizontal, and you can change that. So for example, here we see probably around 22 is where it stops. In fact, you can look here, 19 is where that one stops. So I'm going to set my max to 20, and now, why is it lying? That says 19, and yet it's not off. At 5%, it's saying 81, which seems like it's around there. Whatever. This graph works fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. Um, so yeah, but you can zoom in basically. You can see the parts of it that you want to see by messing around with those numbers. Um, and yeah, that's it. My, I guess, final thoughts are I made all of this. I've made also both of these. I made the scripts that do this, and I've done a lot of other stuff. Um, yeah, what I've found is just that toughness is better if you don't get hit a lot. It's really that simple. What it comes down to is how much toughness can you regenerate between each hit. And if it's significant, then toughness is just going to be better for you on all classes, including the Ogryn, which I thought was surprising. And what I thought was most surprising is actually the Veteran is the one class where health is potentially best. Um, so if you do play vets, mess around with that. I'm not going to do it here because I want this video to be short. Um, and yeah, I hope this is useful. Thanks for using my tool. I actually really am glad that people like it. If they do, I don't know yet whether they will. And yeah, thanks for watching the video, I guess. Good luck with your curios.